In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the calculations for the momentum lab. Okay, remember that on the face of it, momentum is pretty simple. Momentum is just mass times velocity. Okay, so we're going to multiply these masses times these velocities. Notice these are in grams, these are in meters per second. So the units we're going to get here are gram meters per second, which that's just fine. Okay. Now let's carve out a little space for us here. Okay. So we're going to calculate the momentum before over here. And before, remember that the mass was only the red, this glider A moving, right? A was moving, B was sitting still. So our mass is just 300.0 grams. Now I'm going to ignore this uncertainty, this 0.05. If you really, really want to, we really shouldn't ignore it, but it's so small, it really doesn't make a difference. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to figure out the maximum velocity, the average velocity, momentum, and the minimum momentum. Okay, max, average, and minimum before. Okay, and that looks like this. I'm just going to divide up my space here because my writing tends to be sloppy, and the more organized I can be, the better this is for you. Okay, so to find momentum, I'm just going to go mass times velocity. So to get the max, I'm going to go this times my max velocity. Okay, so my max before is the mass before, 300, times the maximum velocity that it could have been before. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So 0.159. Okay. So 300 times 0.159, that is 47.7, and that has the units of grams because that's grams, and this is meters per second, these are good units because we get numbers that are kind of like this that are easy to work with. Okay, now my average is going to be 300 times my average velocity before. So I'm going to use 0.155. That is 300 times 0.155. That's 46.5. This is our best guess that was the actual. Okay, and then let's do the minimum, right? So 300, the mass doesn't change, right? Now, by the way, if you really, really want to find the max, you're going to go 300 plus 0.05, right? And for the minimum, you'd go 300 minus 0.05. I'm just not going to do that. Okay, and then here for the minimum, we'll use the minimum velocity. So 0.151. Let's figure that out. Okay, this is 45.3 gram meters per second. Okay, now when we figure out the momentum after, the question will be, does the momentum, any part of the momentum after, fall within this range? If it does, momentum could be conserved. If it doesn't, the momentum probably wasn't conserved, right? Doesn't mean that momentum's not conserved. It just might mean that there was, friction or something like that. Okay, so afterwards, notice that both these gliders are moving, right? So the mass is going to be 300 plus 291.2. Now this will be different. These will be different numbers if you use different gliders, right? If you use B and C or I don't know, then all bets are off. Okay. Now, my mad mathematical skills tell me that that's 591.2 grams. Okay, and that's what I'll use. So I'm going to figure out the max this could be, the average it could be, and the minimum it could be. And we're going to take a look at that. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Draw a little thing there. It helps me too if you organize your calculations like this rather than scrawling them all over the page. Okay, so maximum we're going to go 591.2 times the maximum velocity afterward, which was 0.083. So 0.083. Let's figure that out. 591.2 times 0.083. I'm getting 49. Whoa, a little more momentum. Okay, so our maximum is pretty high, 49.1 basically. It's 0.096 or something, 696. So I'm just going to say 49.1 gram meters per second. The average is 591.2 times 0.076, so 0.076. Let's figure that out. 591.2 times 0.076. And that's 44.9. Okay, so problem solved. Okay, 44.9312, and that's gram meters per second. Okay, and then the minimum it could be is 591.2 times the minimum here is 0.072, 0.072, so 591.2 times 0.072, and I'm getting 42.6. Roughly, it's 42.5664 is what I'm getting, right? But I think 1 decimal point's good enough, okay? Now, let's take a look at this thing. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how do you make a logical argument, okay? But now we've got the max, the average, and the minimum. I feel like there's some overlap, right? In fact, these values fit almost entirely inside that. But let's look at the mathematical argument here, okay?